A few months ago, I ran into a friend that I hadn't seen in a long time, and as she went in for a hug, I gave her a warning. "I'm sorry if I smell like cigarettes, but I just came from the strip club." The look on her face of shock is one that I see often because I forget that saying, "Oh, I went to the coffee shop with my friends, then I went to the strip club, and then I got groceries," is not a typical answer for, "Oh, did you do anything fun this weekend?" It's at this point in the conversation that I usually have to answer the unasked question, "But why were you at the strip club on a Saturday?" And I tell people, well, the truth is that the women that I visit in the clubs and the men, women, and children that are in the sex industry are just as vulnerable, just as exploited, and just as coerced by life's circumstances to be there as women that are sex trafficked.
When I first found out about the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School that left 17 innocent people, mostly children, without their lives, my first thought was, not again. I then became angry because school shootings and senseless gun violence keep occurring. In fact, it's occurred so many times in my lifetime that it has become normal for me to hear it on the news. Schools and universities should be a place of learning and growth, but recently they have turned into places of fear and tragedy. When it was announced by the students of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High that they were going to be organizing a march, there was no doubt in my mind that I had to be there. So on March 24th, my family and I traveled from Jacksonville, Florida to Washington, D.C. to March for Our Lives.
Like Caitlin, I was also part of the March for Our Lives movement. Now more than ever, I feel the importance of this week. Almost 2 months ago, on February 14th, an active shooter attacked a high school in my hometown. 17 lives were taken and many more injured, but the entire city was shook by this tragedy. This is a city that has been known for being one of the safest places in the country. Growing up in a city where there's never any real threat of danger, then something like this happens makes one thing very clear. If it can happen to this community, it can happen anywhere. Since I was able to see the effects of violence firsthand, I could no longer stay silent. I wanted to be a voice for those who were silenced by senseless gun violence. As soon as the Stoneman Douglas students announced that there was going to be a march on Washington, my friend and I decided that we wanted to go there to show these students that we supported them and we stand with them.